All right, I'm sitting here laughing at Lincoln Ware, laughing at the Lincoln Ware show. I like Lincoln. Sitting there dropping my phone. Yeah, I like Lincoln, and I like picking with Lincoln. So, and he won't say it, but he liked me picking with him. He won't say it, but he likes me picking with him. All right, let me turn him down a little bit. Let me turn him down a little bit. All right. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you. I don't know how long I'm with you, but I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, like I said, I was checking out Lincoln drinking. I still think that guy's an alcoholic, but you know, he's a functioning alcoholic. When you got enough money, you can be an alcoholic, and that be that. I'm drinking grape juice. Big glass of grape juice. Roll on through. When you get here, just say hi. Just say hi. Man, it's been a long week. It's been a long week. And it'll be a long weekend, which you can't beat a good long weekend. 4th of July weekend. Can't beat that. Now I know, look, you might not celebrate 4th of July. You might be one of those people. And when I say one of those people, I'm not saying it like one of those people. I'm saying one of those people. You might be one of those people who don't celebrate the 4th of July. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't celebrate it, it makes sense to me that you might not celebrate it. Good morning, Lewis. Good morning, Erica. It makes sense to me. Oh, good morning. Good afternoon. I'm sorry. It makes sense to me, Anthony. Good afternoon, LaDonna, that you might not celebrate the 4th of July, in particular, as a black person. As a black person. It's not really for us. We win the 4th of July, that 4th of July, they wasn't considering us. During that independence, we weren't independent. So I understand if you're not one of the people who celebrate the 4th of July. Good afternoon, Anthony. But if you are, you know, get out there and enjoy it. Get out there and enjoy it. If I had the little baby, I would take her to Stricker's Grove, which is out in Hamilton. I didn't know nothing about Stricker's Grove. I knew nothing about Stricker's Grove until I lived out in Hamilton, and I was coaching Hamilton Little Blue, and they took the kids, or we, I guess I should say, took the kids to Stricker's Grove. Had no idea the thing even existed. Anybody knew about Stricker's Grove? Any of y'all know, even now, know about Stricker's Grove? I know people just now coming in because people still over there with Lincoln Ware getting drunk. And, you know, on Fridays, I always had to deal with the Lincoln Ware's drunk crowd coming over here and doing what they do. But anybody ever heard or been to Stricker's Grove? Yes or no? Yes or no? Erica says no. Never been to it, never heard of it. LaDonna says, not till this morning on the news. Good afternoon, Terry. Good afternoon, Miss Lucky Charm. LaDonna says neither. She hadn't been there or heard about it. Robert Willis, you late, Robert. Were you over there getting drunk with Lincoln? Robert's usually the very first person in here every day, so that's why. But yeah, I didn't hear about it or know anything about it until I coached football at Hamilton Little Blue. Hamilton Little Blue. McConnell, good afternoon. Nicole, good afternoon. And then when we took the kids there, I was like, this is a great place for kids. It is a great place. But if you got little kids and you don't want to take them to Kings Island or to Coney Island, and it's just too much, it's too expensive, or it's too much going on. And it's for little kids, basically. All the rides. I'm trying to think. When my kids were little, they rode every ride in the joint. They got little roller coasters. They got tiny roller coasters, as the little baby would say. They got tiny roller coasters. They got little roller coasters. There's a difference. There's a difference. But it's something for, and they got other little rides, like little, I'm going to say kind of carnival rides. But it's a nice little place. I never actually purchased food there, so I can't say, but I'm sure it's just regular old carnival food, and they do sell alcohol there for the older people. But I saw on the news that it's free on the 4th of July. That's Monday, right? It's free on Monday, and it'll be like you get them a little wristband for all they can ride unlimited rides. Of course, when we went, it was free because the organization rented the place out, so the only people who were there was Hamilton Little Blue, and it was unlimited rides, and they would just run around like little kids, riding everything, and just totally enjoying themselves. So it can be a situation where it can be cheap. You can buy little ride tickets, or you can buy them the little $20 bracelet. I'm always for unlimited whatever. All you can eat, all you can drink, all you can ride. I'm always for unlimited. I hate limited. Oh, let me get 10 ride tickets, but I don't like that. I don't like that because I might want to ride 12 times, But if you ain't doing nothing and the kids ain't doing nothing, and it's just something you want to take, because I would say little kids, like around, I would take the little baby. She is 4 right now. I would take that little baby out there on Monday. I don't have her on Monday. She's with her parents. But if I had her, I'd definitely go to Stricker's Grove. So it might be if you watch or you have little kids that, grandkids or anything like that, and you want something to do with them, that'd be a nice little spot to take them on the 4th of July, free and open. But it's just a memory. A lot of people in Cincinnati who grew up in Cincinnati know nothing about it, but it's a decent little place. It's a decent little place. It is little. So don't think Kings Island. It's little. Like, I wouldn't, of course, suggest it, but you could say to your kids, go play and not be worried about them. Because if I recall, it's that one entrance, that one exit, and your kids are out there. Again, I wouldn't suggest that. I'm just saying, in terms of the size, you can just about see them everywhere. You're like, well, hold on, where'd the little baby go? Okay, there she is. All right. No, you good. I was just wanted to put my eyes on you. It's one of those deals. Lewis says he might drink alcohol this weekend, but he promises no dog food. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, but all right. Good afternoon, Scott. Vincent, good afternoon. Emanuel, you should have a after show sip and talk. You can drink chocolate milk or apple juice. I don't. That's basically the entire premise of this show, is that we just chatting. We are just chatting. I try to not do this show the same way that I did the show when I was on the radio. It's a totally different dynamic. It's a totally different dynamic, and I try to keep that. I try to keep that dynamic different. Crystal, good afternoon. Regina, good afternoon. Again, everyone who's here, if you haven't, just type in, say hey to a brother. I like to see who here and, just speak to you. Good afternoon, Brenda. Yeah. Lewis says the King and I was an excellent show. I and King were very informative. I enjoy doing that show with Wyatt. He's an entertaining guy and rich and smart. So you can't beat that. Andrea, good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right, what did I want to discuss? Hold on, let me touch on the kids in the water again, just real quick. Martha, good afternoon. Jason B, 513, good afternoon. Let me touch on the kids in the water real quick. And I don't want to dwell on it. I think I almost said everything that I wanted to say, but I keep hearing other stuff. And first, a whole lot of what you're hearing about these kids selling this water is from people who have never seen the kids selling water. People who have never been there when the kids were there selling water. Now, I'm one of these people who I try to not state things as a fact that I don't know to be a fact. Okay. So I can't tell you as a matter of fact that these kids have not been disruptive. Because for all I know, I drove down and they were standing like little angels. Hi, Mrs. Cleaver. And then when I got out of sight, they ran into the street and start blocking traffic. You can't go. You can't go. F you. You know, I never saw them act unruly. That doesn't mean they never acted unruly. It just means I didn't see it. And a good number of the people who are telling you how unruly they are never saw it. Lincoln Ware, who, again, I like Lincoln Ware. I like Lincoln Ware. I like teasing Lincoln Ware, but I like Lincoln Ware. But Lincoln's talking about how unruly they are based on listening to other people say they're unruly. And then he got other people who, again, never saw it, either calling in or responding on his Facebook talking about, yeah, they just hard-headed. You don't know because you've never seen them. And it bothers me how quick we are. Like, I understand the racist. I understand the racist who will say, oh, they were unruly. They blocking the street. They this, they that, and just parrot anything negative that they hear about young Black people. I don't like it, but I understand it. They have a motive to kind of paint our young Black people in a negative light. They have a motive. And they're going to jump on whatever they can jump on to do that. So those people, I understand. Those people, I understand. Crystal, Diane, good afternoon. Richard, good afternoon. And hold on, I thought I saw somebody else, but I didn't. Those people, I understand. I don't understand our people doing it. And even if I saw them being unruly, if I saw them being unruly and I supposedly tried to talk to them and it didn't work, I still wouldn't be taking my time to making it my goal to bash them. I wouldn't. And I wouldn't be calling the police on them. If anything, I would be calling other people, somebody who might be able to reach them. I try to talk to them. Can you talk to them? I try to give them a heads up. Maybe you can try to give them a heads up. Nat, Carolyn, good afternoon. Oh, hold on. I gotta put the number up. If you want to give me a call, 513-717-KING. That's 513-717-5464. 717-KING, 717-5464. But again, I'm not saying, because McConnell says one person say something negative and it's like a chain reaction, which is sad, but true. LaDonna says, I'm born and raised out there, never seen them act up. And again, I'm only up there because I when I head out to the church, I told you I'm at church at least 3 days a week. Many times 5, sometimes even 7 days out of a week. And I drive past. So I'm not just posted up out there watching them. What you doing? I'm not doing that. But I've never seen them be out of line. I've never seen them. They got them throwing bottles at the cars as they would lose all their profit if they were doing that. So they just, hey, we got this whole thing of waters we trying to sell, but instead of selling them, let's just throw them at the car. They wouldn't make no money. So, again, I'm not saying that they have never thrown a bottle at a car. I've never seen it, but that don't mean it didn't happen. I'm not saying that they've never walked out and impeded traffic. I've never seen it, but that don't mean it didn't happen. Actually, that one I could see happening in the same way that I see it happening with the homeless people. Because here's the way that I, in my mind, I can perceive that happening. I'm driving, I'm rolling. Hey, let me get one of them waters. And just as I say that, the light turns. So traffic starts going. Well, they want to come over and give me a water. So I just sit there. They run into the traffic. They give me the water. All right, thank you. Hold on, here's your dollar. They get the money and then they run out of the traffic and then I start going. Guess what they just did? They ran into traffic, holding up traffic, putting themselves in danger. That's what they just did. It's the same thing that the homeless people do. If I tell them, hey, I got this money. Hey, I got this money. Number one, I got to slow down, impeding the traffic behind me. And they got to come and get it, especially if I'm not in that curb lane, which people do from not being in the curb lane. And then the people have to, who are either going to sell the water or going to get that donation, they run across one lane. And sometimes a car might have to stop to let them get through and then they run back over. But we putting it out there like they are just blocking traffic and throwing bottles at cars. And I'm like, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. These are young black people. Young black people trying to make some money. And somebody was saying, well, there are plenty of legal jobs out there and what they're doing, the way they're going about it is illegal. No, it's not. Look, you might be able to argue them not having a license is illegal. Okay. And I'll be honest, a lot of times when I was young and I used to go back handy and sell it, I did that for a minute. But I'd stopped because I wanted the candy more than I wanted the money. Yeah, okay. But I didn't know nothing about I had to have a daggone license to do that. I didn't know I needed no vendor's license. I just knew I got something that people want. And I know how much I paid for it, and I can sell it for more than what I paid for it, and therefore put some money in my pocket. And then I'll sell these 5 boxes of candy, and then I'll be able to go buy me 12 boxes of candy or whatever. So I didn't know nothing about I needed a license. But now when you say the way they're doing it is illegal, that's not true. That's not true. Way refers to the method. The way they're doing it is the method by which they're doing it. And the method by which they're doing it is perfectly legal. The fact that they're doing it without a license is illegal. But the method that they're using is perfectly legal. Perfectly legal. So it kind of saddens me when I hear all of these, and for whatever reason, look, if you don't listen to the Lincoln Ware Show, some of the names I'll throw out might go a little bit over your head. But when I hear a Marcus Jenkins talking about all these black kids as menaces, that makes sense because that's his shtick. The anti-black, anti-gay, even though we're not sure about that. But that's his shtick. When I hear the person that goes by the name Craig saying it, okay, I perceive that person as racist. So that makes sense to me. But it bothers me when I hear old men, typically, but some of them younger, and when I hear old men talking about it and bashing these young people who are just trying to make money. And somebody was even, oh yeah, I seen them. They was on the news flashing their money. That might not have been wise, but if the news reporter comes up and says, hey, what y'all doing up here? And they like, or even the police, and what y'all doing? Well, are y'all making money to prove to them that you're making money to show, fan out your money and show them, hey, we making some money. That's not being flashy with the money. Like, we got to find, and by we, some of us, not all of us, got to find the worst in us. And somehow that make us feel good about us, to find the worst in somebody else. I don't understand that. I promise y'all, I just don't understand it. And that bothers me more than anything. Because you wouldn't think that we should do that. You don't think other people. Now, what, at 4 o'clock, Iris says they're doing a thing where they're going to look at the video and analyze it and kind of break it down. And I'll definitely be watching that. I think that's important. And I love that Iris does things like that. I wish Iris would return my calls and stuff, because I would love an opportunity to sit and just ask Iris, what can I do to help you? Matter of fact, I'm going to call her today. Well, she might be a little busy. Hold on. I'm sending Iris, because if I don't do it right now, I won't remember. Hold on, y'all. I'm sending a text to Iris. I type slow because I'm 51 years old and I ain't got them fingers like some little kids who send text messages like real fast. So just because, I got a little bit of extra time now that I didn't have before, but I don't understand the people who take pleasure in bashing young people. I just don't understand it. And especially the Black people who take pleasure in bashing young Black people. It bothers me. Let's see. LaDonna says she's seen white kids do it, no problem. Crystal says, same here. Born and raised in Bond Hill and still out here. I've seen them walking into traffic, but my thoughts were more concern of them being hit. Never witnessed bad behavior. Regina says, come on, it's water. They ain't selling weed. Jason said, a bunch of old lanes. Mad they failed at life. Some of these are very successful people. Maybe mad that somebody else might be as successful as them. Maybe that's what it is. That's the whole Lincoln Ware talk show. Talk bad about Black women and kids. It should be called I'm not going to say that, Power Hour. Did the police take their money? I don't think the police took their money. I don't think so, but I can't say that for sure. The young man over here off Queen City exit seems to do well. Nat says, can't be intimidating them boys when trying to school them to game. I coach and see bad coaches every game. Yes. I'll be honest. When I first started coaching, that was and I know this is totally off subject, that was the one thing that shocked me the most. And I don't know why. But seeing the just terrible coaches who have no idea how to, like, they might have been great at football, which is what I was coaching. They might have been great at football, but they was teaching just bad everything. Teaching kids to cheat, teaching kids to have bad attitudes, teaching kids to have bad sportsmanship, yelling and intimidating the kids. There's going to be some level of yelling because you want to get their intensity up, to get them to play with passion and everything. But there's a line between yelling and trying to get the kids fired up and passionate and scaring and intimidating the kids. bullying. Some of these coaches ain't coaches. They just bullies with a whistle. DeAndre says they will take up for PG, but bash the water boys. And again, my issue is they've never seen them. They've never seen them. They've already come to the conclusion, like, oh, I drove through there and wasn't nobody there. So you have legit never seen these kids ever, one time, ever in your life. But you done already 100% bought into the idea that they bad kids, they bad seeds. We got to do something about them. They hard-headed. They won't listen. They can't learn. Now, all of that kind of stuff. Maybe the police needed to be there. They smart Alex and they this and they that. You ain't never seen them. Ever. So you can't say, well, I know what I saw. You didn't see anything. It really does. It bothers me. It bothers me. So I had to start off talking about that because I just that's the kind of stuff I always pushed back against. And again, I'm trying to be as fair as I can because somebody might have seen them do something bad. And if you actually saw them do bad, conduct themselves badly, you saw bad behavior. You saw them throwing water bottles at cars. If you actually saw that, then okay. You can say that. But if you didn't see it, the video Wyatt put up of those kids lend credibility to the negative claims. Okay, I didn't see the video that Wyatt put up. But again, in this video, Ben, were they throwing water bottles at cars? Because that was what I heard they doing. Was that happening? Because again, I'm not here to say they've never done anything wrong, but the overwhelming majority of the people bashing them, they definitely ain't never seen them do nothing wrong. That's all I'm saying. All right, what else happened this week and what is going on? What are we doing for 4th of July? And let me see, around here, the fireworks already been going on for a few weeks. Andrea says, I drive where they are every day, a couple times a day, and I've never seen them do anything but standing on the island. Never seen them go out in traffic. I can't say I've never seen them go out in traffic. I have seen them go out in traffic, but only when somebody was like, hey, let me get a water. And they have run out in traffic when the cars are stopped to go get a person of water. And there was one occasion where the light turned green. And so it was like really inconvenient. And I was behind the car that was buying the water. And so I had to wait a couple seconds for them to do the little transaction and then for dude to run back over to the sidewalk. That's the most I've seen. And it was slightly inconvenient for me for a few seconds. And then I drove on and went on about my business. That's it. That definitely wasn't enough for me to call the police and say, they out here running through traffic. Now, maybe if that had been my regular place where, I used to sell water. And then these young boys done came and now they selling water. And so I can't sell my water. Maybe I would call the police on them. Try to create an environment. Oh, wait a minute. Wyatt says, talking about the video, I disagree. The video shows that with a structured environment and an incentive to be great, these kids will sit down and listen. They just need leadership so they can be great. Okay. All right, here we go. If they're being disrespectful in front of adults, bad language, disrespectful to each other, imagine behind closed doors. But I understand you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Well, what you determine to be disrespectful might not be disrespectful. And I'm gonna just be honest. I say stuff that people perceive as disrespectful, but clearly I don't mean it. Well, I can say clearly because every once in a while I'm intentionally disrespectful to people that I don't respect. But if me and I don't know Wyatt are standing somewhere and we are 16 years old and we calling each other N's and B's and using MF and all of that kind of stuff, you might be like, that's so disrespectful. They're being disrespectful to each other. But me and Wyatt, I'm not worried about him calling me no N or MF or whatever. So we're not being disrespectful to one another. We being silly, maybe immature, maybe, because I'll be completely honest, depending on the person, I still do that to this day. I'm 51 years old, and I know some 51-year-olds that I call N's and MFs and say all kind of crazy stuff to, and they say it to me. So if they do it out in public, would you speak? Hold on. Would you speak in this manner of podcast at a senior citizen home around elders your grandmother's age? Possibly. Depending on the mood I'm in. It depends on the mood I'm in. Just because you don't like it don't mean I'm being disrespectful. Just because you don't like it don't mean I'm being disrespectful. He wants me to say yes or no. I told you, depending on the mood I'm in. Yes, I would. It's a possibility that I would. Yes. So what? I mean, you're going to call the police on me and get me locked up? Because I'm standing on the corner selling water? Or because I'm making some t-shirts and I'm standing on the corner selling my t-shirts? Is that it? Hey, come on. Ben says, come on, Wyatt, don't soften the blow. And Lewis says, you're too old to be using the N-word, and you know this. I shouldn't be using the N-word. I agree. But I use it. I have a choice number of friends that I kick it with or that I talk to from time to time, and I use the N-word with them. And they use it with me. I use it to discuss other people, and I call them that, and they call me that, and it's all love. Should we use it? You can have that debate. And I would say that there's merit to the idea that we shouldn't use it. But you asked me to be honest, and I'm telling you, I use it. Hold on. Whatever. Push back. Will work. Time you can go by. Get together, whatever you can. All right. Sorry, I'm responding to Iris. Again, I type slow. All right, all right, all right. So explain to me what disrespect is. Are you the bearer of the meaning? Um, well, my definition of disrespect, I don't understand your last question, so I'm gonna ignore it. And if you want to put it in a way so that a simple-minded person like me can understand it, I'll try to answer it. But what disrespect is to me is to do something to intentionally show a lack of respect. That's what disrespect is to me. That's simple. Like the other day, I was telling somebody, it might even been yesterday, to get off somebody's D. I'm not gonna say D because for whatever reason, that triggered all of them nasty bots to start sending stuff to my YouTube page and stuff. And that the person said, that's disrespectful. Well, saying it, I didn't mean it to be disrespectful. And had I had the conversation with that person and they still felt like, but that's disrespectful, and I kept saying it to them, then I would be intentionally being disrespectful to them. Intentionally. Because I would be saying it knowing how it make them feel, but I'm still saying it. That would be me intentionally being disrespect, intentionally doing it in spite of not respecting their will, their wishes, and their feelings. That's disrespectful. But me and somebody, I'm not gonna put Wyatt in my little example. Me and somebody standing on the corner, calling each other MFs, and some person walks by and hears it, and they're like, that's so disrespectful. No, you don't get to make the call for what's disrespectful between the two of us. And if you don't like to hear it, walk on away. You're in a position where you can leave and you don't have to hear it. So, no. There are sent you D footage. I didn't say nothing about no footage, but I said it. And then I don't know if that triggered just that word. It might be some sort of algorithm or something where they listening for that word. And then they just kept sending messages like, hey, come to this nasty site. Ooh, come to this nasty site. Y'all remember I think it was yesterday. And it was the YouTube people. Come to this nasty, saying nasty site might even trigger it. And I don't need that. Myosha says, I didn't know there was an age limit to using the N word. Apparently it is. I don't know what it is. 50 maybe? 50? 43. I don't know. Was that Lincoln? I'm pretty sure it wasn't Lincoln. I think Ross has had too much to drink. See, I told y'all, I get the drunk people. After Lincoln them made y'all drunk, then y'all come over here, type in OCO, Emanuel, and experimenters. I don't know what that means. And yelled it, like didn't just say it. Like OCO, Emanuel, and experimenters, like screamed it. OCO! It's drunk. What else? I was moving on to something else. Fireworks. That's what I was moving on to. Fireworks. You know, there's a new law in Ohio, a new fireworks law. Like we're allowed to use fireworks. There's a certain class of fireworks that you're allowed to use in Ohio, but cities though can restrict that even further. And apparently here in Cincinnati, Oh, the nasty box is back. The nasty box is back. I don't, can I block the nasty box? Yeah, block. Yeah, there we go. But I look, I haven't seen them on here in a long time until yesterday when I said the D word. And then today I said nasty thing. And so they back. But yeah, now here in Cincinnati, you're only allowed to use certain kinds of fireworks. And they say what, novelty fireworks. I don't have it on my screen. I'm not call me when you get done and report whatever you need to. I will call her when I'm done. You can do, I don't have it on my screen, so I'm not reading it, but you can do like smoke bombs and sparklers, like the little snake things. Those little things you light and then they kind of just turn into a snake. That's all you're really allowed to do in the city of Cincinnati. And it is annoying. I ain't calling the police on nobody because I don't want nobody going to jail for, doing a I don't want nobody going to jail for doing nothing. But again, I don't know where they get these fireworks from that they lighting in my area. They're lighting bombs. Bombs. Like, I'm like, the bomb squad gonna show up thinking that y'all done blew something up. Where do they get this stuff? Where do they get this stuff? And they still, it'd be 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd be hearing bombs. And I used to be like, they out there shooting. And I was like, they not shooting. They not shooting. So they get it from Indiana. Why are they shooting it at 3 o'clock in the morning? I can't lie. From time to time, I'll be like, man, the police need to go over there and do something. But I ain't ever calling the police on somebody because they lighting off fireworks. But they've been lighting off. Iris is hitting me back. Let me put this on silent. But man, they got the strongest fireworks like ever. But there is a time limit on when you're supposed to do it. But again, I'm not calling the police to get nobody a ticket or arrested or anything like that over something like fireworks, no matter how annoying it is. Because I remember when we used to get our hands on them M80s, and that was the biggest deal to me. Them M80s, we used to get our hands on them, light them, and throw them. And then I had some, and they wasn't M80s. I don't remember what they are, with a really quick wick. That might get the porn sites to start back spamming me. But some of them had a really quick wick, like old men. The ladies tell me that y'all old men got a really quick wick. And you like them spow, and they almost blow up in your hand. So those you got to light while you sitting down, and light it with one of them long, like what you use to light your grill. Like, and then they blow up. But man, these things got the M80s got nothing on the stuff that these people be shooting off here. They don't shoot them during the day. Like now, if they were shooting them right now, it'd be like, cool. They shooting them right now. No biggie. No biggie. They shooting them. It's middle of the day. They ain't bothering nobody. They wait till it's late. And now, look, I get it. You can't see the stuff during the day. You light bombs. Like you're not lighting Roman candles where you need to see them. You just lighting bombs. They just loud as hell. Boom! You like, wow. It's a house that's done fell down or something. After that football player blew his fingers off, I was done with buying fireworks. But I don't know if I'll go out. Mrs. Livingston loves to go see fireworks. She likes to go see fireworks. She likes the fireworks displays. And if she wants to go, we'll go. But it's supposed to be raining, ain't it? It's supposed to be raining. I don't want to, necessarily get out there in the rain. But if that's what she want to do, that's what I'll do. I will do it. I get out there in the rain with her, and we will watch the fireworks. The rain don't stop nobody like you would think. It's raining. It's only gonna be a few people there. No, it's raining. It'd be packed. And just everybody wet. People put on their little ponchos and get on out there. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It all depends on what she wants to do. Oh, I did want to let y'all know I will not be on next, I think Thursday and Friday. I think it's next Thursday and Friday. I think I'll be out of town. Hold on, let me look at them dates and make sure. Yeah, next Thursday and Friday. Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Not next, not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. I'll be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. But then Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll be out. All right. Just so y'all know, I don't want y'all necessarily looking for me. Yeah, that's the Arizona trip. So I won't be here. Not that y'all in the habit of looking for me, because you never know. I could not be here at any time. I almost wasn't here today. Scott says Monday is the 4th. Oh, that's why Wyatt was asking me if we're gonna do the podcast on Monday, because it's the 4th. Why not? Yeah, I'll be here on Monday. I believe Wyatt and myself will be here on Monday. I got to reach out to him. When he called me, I was super busy. But I'll reach out to him. What else is there? What else is going on? Oh, watched Coco Golf. Watched Coco Golf. Basically demolished that woman in tennis yesterday. They pushed it all the way back. I was all the way off the air by the time the match started. And so I watched her demolish that young lady. So the 4th of July is one day. Will they continue for months afterwards? Yes. Yes, they will. And again, it is annoying. I'm not going to lie and say it's not annoying. Maybe 40 is the age where you start getting annoyed by stuff that you used to do. 40 is the age where you start getting annoyed by stuff that you used to do. Because I've been annoyed by it for like a decade now. But again, I remember I used to do it. Hold on. Ben says, did you make that Trump list? I did not. I got way too busy and I didn't make the list. Oh, hold on. I got a call coming in. Key, you're on the afternoon experiment.
What's going on, Emanuel? How are you?
I'm fantastic. Key, how are you?
I guess I'm being a regular caller.
hey, I appreciate a regular caller.
I know. I told you I'm listening. I'm supporting. So just I ain't got nothing to talk about. Just calling, like I say, supporting. And but I did have a question. I remember you were talking about like getting swimming lessons for people. I don't know if you had continued to talk about it. What was the what's going on with that as far as trying to get a swimming
Uh,
going for people?
Here's what happened. I talked about it that day, and a few people said like, "Yeah, I would do it," but I think more people said like, "No." So I didn't really do anything with it. But if people wanted to do it for real, I will. I know people who do free swim lessons. Let me see if I can get them on and get that going for people who actually want to swim because it is important.
Yeah, because I was somebody had called me asking about swimming too, because they boyfriend wanted to learn how to swim because they was going to somewhere, and I was saying like I don't know if you remember a few years ago those two boys that drowned in
Yes.
Bond Hill. I think they have a program at like the rec centers. I believe it's called Can I Swim? And I believe like that program is free for anybody that wants to take swimming lessons. I'm not for sure. I didn't have to do all the research. I was just like on like a website or whatever. I didn't call and get verification, but it had that on the website. It said, "Can I swim?" So I think it's a program at the rec centers. You just call and say like you want to get in that program, and I think like you don't have to pay, but if you do pay, I don't know if it's a lot, but they'll accept you if you they'll take whatever I believe. So yeah.
All right. Key, can you swim?
Yes. I
Good.
can't. I'm not a good swimmer like that, but I can swim.
What does
Yeah.
that mean? I'm not a good swimmer like that.
Because I can't hold my breath a long time because of my breathing situation. So I can't like do the backstroke. I can't do like laps on the Olympics like that.
You don't.
I'm no Michael Phelps.
Well, just if you're doing the backstroke right, you don't have to hold your breath.
Yeah, I'm no Michael Phelps though.
But you can if somebody pushed you in a pool or you fell into a swimming pool, you could save yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's important.
Yeah, but you always want to still wear your life vest when you go in oceans and stuff because I don't know if you've seen lately, it's a lot of people like drown like the rafts are sinking. Have you seen that on the news as well?
I haven't. What?
Okay, as a guy, I believe he's from here. He was in Florida, and I think they raft tipped over or something like that, and he actually passed away. And then I heard another story where the raft sunk. Like it's a lot of situations where I'm hearing like rafts are sinking. So look that up, and it's like what's going on with these rafts sinking. So I think it's important when you're in the water to have a life jacket on because sometimes that depending on the current or whatever, if you're in the ocean or in the lake or whatever. So I just think that's important for people to have on their life jackets and stuff for situations like that when the raft sinks or whatever's going on
All
or
right.
whatever. But yeah, I was just kind of like I said, just checking in, just supporting. So and I'm watching on YouTube. So if everybody's familiar with YouTube, thumbs up the live, subscribe, and get this channel. Keep watching it so he can get the watch hours, so he can get the channel monetized. And another thing about channels on YouTube, a lot of people watch these channels, believe it or not, that are going through depression, anxiety, and everything. And a lot of this stuff helps people when they're lonely and all that other stuff. So this is another reason why I support because people are watching you, believe it or not, and this is helping a lot of people out with their anxiety, emotions, mental illness, loneliness, and everything like that. So just support. And then, like I said, you're trying to do positive stuff, and then you're kind of like a news outlet to people that don't like listening to radio with music all the time. So
All
they
right.
like talk radio. So,
All right. Hey, Key,
alrighty. So
I
appreciate you
appreciate
and
your
enjoy the
call.
rest of your weekend.
You do the same.
Okay.
All right. All right. That's Key. Um, yeah, I haven't seen where the people are turning over in their rafts and stuff like that. But I will say this: it is important to wear a life. I used to consider myself a really good swimmer. Again, took advanced life saving courses and learned all of these different methods to save people and to swim and survive. I mean, this was what the course was. Took it, passed with flying colors. I could swim. Not necessarily exceptionally fast, even though I could probably dust anybody on here watching. But, I wasn't a competitive swimmer, but I considered myself a good swimmer. And I went to, was it Jamaica or Bahamas? One of the two. And I got on what they called a banana boat, had on a life vest, got thrown in the water on the banana boat. No biggie. That's kind of what the whole thing is designed to do. Got on this vest, but the ocean was really choppy. And even in the vest, I was worn the hell out just trying to swim back to the little banana boat. Like we was all spent trying to swim back to the little boat and then climb back on. And I was thinking, if I didn't have on this vest, I'd probably drown. Even with my knowledge, now granted, I was a lot older, but even with my knowledge of all of these survival swimming techniques, I thought about it and I feared I would be dead if I didn't have on this vest right now. So anytime you out there and you swimming in open waters, wear your vest. Wear your vest. You think you can swim faster than anybody on here? I said I think, or maybe what I meant, I don't know if I made it clear. When I was out there swimming, I could have swam faster than any of y'all. You wouldn't know what to look at me, but I was athletically inclined. I was athletically inclined. I had some skills. I can beat you in ping pong, Livingston. Maybe. Samuel said, when tired, lay on your back. All right. That's not, that wouldn't be what I would suggest to anybody. I think Mr. Jones can beat you. Right now, all y'all talking all that stuff. I look, y'all you want to go? You want to go? I go right now. I'll put it on the line right now. And I'm not even saying that I'm in any kind of shape, but I will put it on the line right now. So you just tell me where and when. Tell me where and when. Anybody talking about they can beat me, they can outswim me. I'll challenge you like Lincoln used to challenge people to racing. Tell me where and when, and we can get it. Now, I'm not actually saying that I can beat you now, but I ain't scared of the challenge. Raz says, I can do anything, you can do better. All right. You talking that mess and you don't even answer my text. Your text ain't challenges. Your text is, I ain't even gonna say what your texts are about, but you be talking nonsense. Plus, I was exceptionally busy when you text me, so I couldn't do it. Robert says, you picked the spot. No, you picked the spot. You want to challenge me. You had a spot and the time, and I'll be there. I know you picked the spot. Robert, Bobby, you picked the spot. See, you saying that, you make it sound like you saying nasty stuff, because there people gonna think you trying to get a piece of the D. That's not what she trying to do. It's not nasty stuff. It's just crazy stuff that she be saying. What else? is going on out here in the world. Oh, there was something else I saw. Oh, I saw this story that I have to address. Ben says, you really don't think we believe you can swim, do you? Again, pick the place. You tell me when and tell me where. Tell me when and tell me where. You almost drowned in the pool at Aiken. You can't swim. I ain't never almost drowned in no pool, ever. I was always in danger of drowning, I felt like, when I was going to those pools when I couldn't swim. But I ain't never almost drowned in no pool at Aiken. You're just making stuff up. See, now you're turning yourself into not just a hater, which I don't mind the hater part, but you're turning yourself into a liar. Don't lie. Don't lie. Aiken has a pool. Aiken had a pool. I don't know if they still got a pool. I haven't been to Aiken since they rebuilt. But Aiken used to have a pool, yeah. Nice Olympic size pool. Yeah. That's where I took my advanced life-saving classes. I almost drowned at the pool. Stop it. Grape juice, not alcohol. Courtney, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Courtney. Lewis said he has drowned before. Oh, Black Wolf says, I was just joking, but you look like you water challenged. Then take me up. Take me up on the challenge then. Take me up on the challenge. Say when. Say where. Say when. Say where. And we do as few or as many laps as you say. As few or as many laps as you say. I'm confident that I'll beat you, whoever you are. Well, okay. I believe, but I'm not guaranteeing victory. I believe it, but I'm not guaranteeing victory. I saw this story. This was out of Detroit. And there was a guy who got killed on Facebook Live. Did anybody else see this story? He was doing his show on Facebook, and he kind of did, you know, just kind of, he's a comedian, or he was a comedian. And he was like joking about stuff, but he was, so anyway, some people got offended. Some people got offended by the things that he was saying. And then you say you hear echoes. I don't know why you would hear echoes. There's no echo anywhere around here. And there's nobody on the phone. So I don't know why you would hear echoes. But yeah, he was, some people got offended by some of the things that he said, apparently. And they told him that they was going to smack his mama and kill him. And he was live on Facebook. There's a video of it out there. And they rolled up on him. Shot him. I felt like I heard about 20 shots, even though I don't know how many that it actually was. But they shot and killed that man over him making jokes on Facebook. Can I suggest to y'all, if you get so offended by the things that people say and do on the internet, just turn off the internet. Just turn off the internet. It's not, don't go around, don't go. And I was thinking about this the other day, like, and it even came up again in my mind this morning when the Crime Stopper lady was on. And the only thing she could think of good to say about her mama was that my mama can fight. And I was thinking, why is violence? Why does it seem to be so celebrated in our culture? Why do we have a culture where in the music and you know, just to some degree, just the culture in general, the idea of shooting and or killing somebody or physically assaulting somebody, why is it that That's okay. Why is it? Oh, look, she grew up in this neighborhood and she can fight. Like that's the best compliment that you can give to your mama. That's the best compliment that you can give to your mama, that she can fight. You a full grown old lady, which means your mama is an old lady. And the only thing you can think of to celebrate your mama is she can fight. What the hell is going on? I and I mean, look, I think it's different in the movies. I think it's different in the movies. You know, you see movies and violence in movies. That's action. You see it, it's pretend, it's make believe, whatever. I think the music is a little different because I think for whatever reason, music has more of an influence because people, when in particular young people, because for the most part, it's young people who consume the current music. Like when I was young, I was listening to the music of my day, music in the 70s, music in the 80s, and then through a portion of the 90s. I lost it somewhere in the late 90s. I mean, I still heard music, and every once in a while there would be a song that I would be like, all right, that's kind of cool. But somewhere in the late 90s, the music was like, that's all right. But I prefer what I grew up on. Young people, the music really speaks to them. All right. So, and these people believe, young people, a lot of young people believe that what these people are rapping about or singing about is their actual lives. They don't understand that these people just making stuff up, just like the movies. They making stuff up like the movies. No, this is our real life. We rapping about real life. Y'all rapping about somebody else's life because that's not the life that you are living or have ever lived. Most of them. Most of them. It's entertainment, but they don't understand that. Young people, some young people don't understand that. And so they listen and they think this is the culture. Thus it becomes the culture. Broken Wing says not necessarily, E-Man. What? Not necessarily what? Explain what you're talking about. And so because of that, this stuff becomes a part of the culture. So it becomes something to be proud of, a badge of honor. I shot this person. I shot that person. I whooped this person. I whooped that person. Old people too. But for the most part, that's become a part of our culture. I wish we could not have that be the standard that one has to live up to be somebody in our culture. I wish that wasn't the case. Broken Wing says, okay, you said some. Yes, some. I always try to be, because I understand that most things don't encompass everybody, no matter what it is. But I wish, you know, the NWA, one of your favorite rap groups who influenced you, had a song about killing men and women. They had a number of songs about killing men and women. A number of them. And when I first was listening to NWA, I thought that was the life they was living. That's why I'm telling you this stuff, because I'm telling you that this is stuff I know from being a young person. I know that you're looking at it like, oh, this is the life that they live in. And then you later find out, no, they wasn't. Maybe one of them had previously, but no. And the one that was writing all of the good stuff hadn't lived that life at all. But NWA never made me want to kill anybody. Never made me want to kill anybody. My favorite song by NWA still is F the Police. And it's not because they talking about killing police, because they do, but I was never into that part of it. I was into it because I had previous issues with law enforcement, and I agree with the sentiment that F them. They ain't nobody. They just regular people with a gun and a badge. Just regular people with a gun and a badge. Taking liberties with my freedom, bullying people, and I didn't like that. And so the feeling behind F the Police spoke to me. Not all the stuff about killing police and all that kind of stuff. Most of the other stuff was more, I always thought it was kind of comedic, actually. I actually thought it was comedic, actually. But some of the stuff that they rapping and singing about now really is just about being violent and, of course, sexually promiscuous. NWA had its place, but no one was trying to live that life or cussing out adults. It's normal for youth to rage against the machine. I just wish we could. And I'm not saying that my generation wasn't a part of that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that young people are listening to what they're listening to now. And some of them are internalizing that stuff. And especially if you really are out there trying to live that life, then this stuff is, you're listening to stuff that's kind of creating a soundtrack to you trying to live that life. And now you got to live up to that, if that's what you're really trying to do. Black Wolffish says Dre was really beating women. Yeah, apparently he was. Nas said he used to down 40 ounces listening to NWA and Keep Sweat. And we did have that range back in the day. We really did. Like I know this sounds crazy and sound like some old man rambling. And it probably is. And I'm asking because I know some of y'all who are old. Some of y'all are old. But still, try to be hip. Ain't nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, ain't nothing wrong with it. But I would ask y'all, in the mainstream, like if you listen to, for example, The Wiz, maybe I should ask Raven this question. Hold on, let me see if I can get Raven to call. See if I can get Raven to call. Because I have a question for her since she works on The Wiz. Asking her, can she call my show? I have a question. A music question. And let me put the number 513-717-5464. See if she can, and if she's allowed to. No, I know she's allowed to. But I want to see if she'll call. Because I want to know, are there any love songs in the mainstream? Not F songs, but love songs. Where you're talking about being in love with a woman, wanting to make her your lady, not just so you can F her, but so you could actually love her? Like, are there love songs now in the mainstream? If a germ is considered a living organism, how is it a fetus? All right. Was talking with someone about this the other day. There are no more Luthers out there. There's no one making great love songs. Um, Giveon has love songs. Again, I don't know who that is. No, I watched the BET Awards. That's the dude who sounded so bad, and then he tried to pretend like it was the microphone's fault at the end. I mean, at the beginning of his song. Is that who that was? NWA turned into Death Row Records. Biggie, Tupac, and other people have died because of their nonsense. Hold on, let me see. Welcome to the afternoon experiment.
What's up?
Raven Monday.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Working. I got like 3 jobs now, so just staying busy.
I got a question for you. It's a music question, and only because I know that you are, on the Wiz. You're a Wiz personality. Ray. So my question is, we're talking about the current landscape of music right now, and I know that there's plenty of songs about violence and sex, but
yeah,
are there any love songs in the mainstream, not just kind of floating around, but in the mainstream, are there any love songs? Not "I want to make you my girl so I can F you because your mouth is big enough to take it all."
Oh my God.
Not those that I heard that in a song. Not those type of songs, but songs where it's just like, I love you, I want to be with you forever type of. Do they exist in the mainstream landscape of music? R&B or hip hop? Sorry.
You're fine. No, continue. What was the rest of your question?
No, I was narrowing it down to hip hop and R&B because I know it exists outside of hip hop and R&B.
Okay. It does exist in hip hop, but it's definitely it definitely is not what's being played on the radio right now. Like, there's nothing hip hop like that that's been playing on the radio, but there is mainstream stuff that does exist.
Now, wait. How do you say it's mainstream if they won't play it on the radio? See, that's what I get. Maybe I should have said commercial.
Okay, so because there is a difference. Mainstream is very different than commercial, because not everything mainstream gets played on the radio because of certain like industry details, and some stuff does have explicit language in it, so it can't be played on the radio. Like, they would have to beep every other word. Nobody want to hear it on the radio. So there's mainstream stuff that, does exist in that realm. It just don't get played on the radio. Now, R&B wise, R&B has taken a bit of a turn since like the 90s. Like, more of the R&B you hear right now it's not like love ballads or nothing like that. There's a few of them out there. There's maybe 1 or 2 on the radio right now. Like, it's a song called "Hit Our Love" by Queen Naja, and it is a love song, but it's not like a "I love you so much, I only want to be with you" type song. It's more of like a commentary on people hating on our love. Like, me and you found each other, and we are so happy with each other, but it just seems like everybody else can't stand that we're with each other. That's kind of the whole premise of that song. So that could kind of slide in there under that, classification. But at the same time, it's not just a straight up love ballad. Like, we don't have a whole lot of love ballads that are mainstream anymore. A lot of the R&B right now is very heavily hip hop influenced, and it carries a lot of those same tones.
Do you guys have, and I say you guys because you're there, do you guys have an Anita Baker? And let me explain what I mean when I say an Anita Baker. Here, okay. This is what I always appreciated about Anita Baker's music. She always celebrated love and the idea of love. Like, she wasn't negative to I can't think of a song. I'm sure she had one or two, but I can't think of an Anita Baker song where she just complaining about her man. She mad at her man. Like Anita apologized. You know what I'm saying? Anita recognized for real. Anita recognized
so
that.
you looking, what you saying is you looking for somebody with some accountability in their music.
No, just somebody who it seemed like all of their music celebrates the positive aspect. Like it wasn't no man hating in her music. Is there? Do y'all have Anita Baker of hip hop?
So basically, you're asking, do we have the kind of female artist that majority of her catalog is like loving on men instead of talking about maybe her struggles with love?
Yes.
And you're asking specifically mainstream or commercial?
Yes.
Or just in general?
Yes, specifically commercial mainstream.
Let me think about it. Is there somebody who like? Nothing comes to mind. I'll put it like that. I'm not gonna say they don't exist,
right?
But for me, nothing comes to mind immediately, like Anita Baker or like I said before, a lot of the R&B, especially the female R&B, and that's what kind of makes it so popular right now, is because a lot of it is sort of like the women kind of expressing their gripes about modern dating. Like that's kind of a lot of these current modern R&B women who sing music, like that's a lot of they pull right now. Like I'll give you a clear example. This young lady by the name of Money Long. She had a song, I know you've had to have heard it because it's been everywhere. She has a song called Hours and Hours, where she is, for the entirety of the song, talking about how she loved this man so much that she could spend hours and hours with him, spending time talking, doing what grown folks do. Like, she is literally, the whole entire song is her just loving on that man. Her very next hit song was about, well, you ain't doing enough, and it's other brothers out here who willing to do what you ain't willing to do. That song is called, I think it's called Another, and it's basically her telling her man via the song that if you not doing what I need you to do, it's another dude out here who will. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that type of R&B now. It's like it's you get the love songs, but with the love songs, you always for the most part gonna get that. Well, yeah, you make me happy sometimes, but other times you make me feel like this, which is I got issues with you and the way you treat me sometimes. I'm not all the way happy here. It's like I said, it's other dudes who willing to do all the stuff you're not gonna do. Like it's I feel like it's more of a balance. I say now, like it's not so.
That don't really sound like a balance.
I guess it depends on how you view R&B though.
But I'm gonna say,
do you want R&B that only is focused around love songs and love ballads, or do you want R&B that has a more like realistic approach to it?
Well, I'm gonna say it's definitely not balanced, and I'm not in that arena. The reason that I can with confidence say it's not balanced is because so far you could only really think of one, maybe two songs that are positive on love. But I bet if I asked you about songs that are
I can think of more, but you asked specifically mainstream.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
R&B in general, but I feel like R&B in general right now is not mainstream.
But
R&B has had to fight to get back into the mainstream, and they've gotten back into the mainstream by creating those specific songs that aren't love ballads.
But the reason why I'm asking about mainstream is because, at least when I was coming up, that's how we heard our music. That we heard our music that way. And while I know, these kids got other avenues to hear their music.
They stream everything now.
It still, if it's not mainstream, then I don't know that a 12-year-old is digging in the R&B crates for artists that they never heard of. You know what I'm saying? So they're listening. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think that kids now, like I was a radio kid. When I was coming up, there was still the radio. We still listened to the radio. Of course, they started coming out with like MP3 players and stuff like that. And so my generation kind of was a generation who shifted from the radio to either like MP3 players and iPods and stuff like that, to now where most people get all their music on their phone via streaming services. But
I was still a radio kid. Like I vividly remember listening to the Wiz most of the time when I was in the car. That's how I got, my sense of,
Yeah.
music because I listened to the radio as a kid. Absolutely. I listened to the radio as a kid. That's how, because I was also a church kid. So that's how I even ever heard any secular music was about listening to the radio. Like I didn't even know that there was a such thing as a radio edit before things like iTunes and like MP3 players and stuff. I always thought what was played on the radio was the exact version of that song. So I would be singing the clean version around like my siblings and cousins and stuff who didn't go to church. I would be singing the clean versions of songs. They'd be looking at me like, that's not how that song goes. So my experience is a little different. These kids today, like you said, they get all their music off of streaming services, off of YouTube, and most of the time, if they in a car with their parents, they listening to whatever their parent is listening to. So if my mom and dad is not listening to, Anita Baker, Mary J. Blige, whoever, all they listening to is Lil Baby and whoever else, whatever else popular rapper, aka hip hop artist is, Cardi B, whatever. That's the music that I'm being exposed to. That's the music that I'm going to look for when I go to YouTube or whatever else.
Right. And if ain't none of those positive, or very few of those is positive on actual love, not just sex, but actual love, then we're kind of creating an opportunity where we're skewing the minds of these young people about what love is. Love ain't love. Love is good sex.
Yeah. A lot. If you were to ask a kid based on the music they listen to now, what love is, they would give you answers such as love is, good sex. Love is, going through a toxic relationship but still sticking together because love. Like they don't really get the step by step that maybe my generation we didn't. I would still say that music even back in like the early 2000s, it was getting to that point where it was like, okay, you're doing too much now in this music. But at the same time, it was still, because it was radio, they were still playing hits from like the 90s and stuff still in the early 2000s. So I still got that glimpse of 90s R&B, which was like, it was sexual, but some of it was still very much so like, I love you. Like I remember listening. I remember being able to catch people like Joe on the radio. Joe was a male R&B singer who sung about loving on a woman. Like that was what made up my vision or my idea of love as a young girl trying to figure it out. Like I would go and listen to male R&B because in the late 90s, maybe mid 90s, men were still singing to women as if they loved them, as if they still enjoyed the presence and the company, as if they still, genuinely appreciated women in general. Men were still singing like that. These days, you come across a male R&B singer, he's singing about how that B word did me wrong. He's singing about, I can't trust none of these B words. He's singing about, they don't deserve me. They want my money. They want this. They want that. That's what these male singers are singing about. And vice versa. That's what a lot of female singers are singing about. These men don't love me. They abuse me. They treat me any kind of way. I don't need them. I can do bad all by myself.
Y'all need an Anita Baker.
I mean, we just, I have yet to come across a new age R&B artist, male or female, who their catalog of music is dedicated to loving on women and men. I have yet to come across that. It's just not, more often than not, you're gonna come across more R&B artists who they have maybe a couple songs here and there that do celebrate some version of love for whoever they are attracted to or whatever their audience is. But for the most part, their catalog is gonna be filled with heartbreak songs, and it's gonna be filled with I don't need you songs.
All right. Hey, I appreciate it. I didn't want to just speculate because, again, I'm not aware of the current landscape of music, but just in my mind, y'all did not have a 2022 version of Anita Baker. And I think that's important.
I think they exist, but they're just not mainstream. That's the difference. Like they're not the people who get played on radio. They're not the people who probably get played at the party.
I'm not even sure that they exist. I'm not even sure that they exist. I know that they exist
because as somebody who also like I aspire to create my own music. I'm a singer and a songwriter. I am very intentional about the music that I intend to put out, and I intend to.
And so you only sing and write songs about positive love relationships?
most of my music, well, I'll put it this way: the music that I have written about relationships, it has been to highlight the positive feelings that I have felt while being in love or having feelings for another person. I can't say this word. Specifically, Black men.
You ain't got no
When I
F
think
that
about,
in. You ain't got no F that in songs.
no, I don't. Not a single one.
Okay. All right. Well,
I
go
also
on,
like to
Anita.
create, but I also like to utilize my music to uplift. So a lot of the songs that I have written are songs about loving myself, like figuring out my own flaws, but also my own strengths and kind of improving myself. A lot of my songs are about pointing out flaws that I have found in myself as I'm growing and kind of trying to hip other people to it.
See, that
So
sounds like some Anita Baker stuff. Analyzing your own flaws in the relationship.
of course, because
Yeah.
you gotta have some accountability when you are
Come on,
genuinely trying
Anita.
to find love. You
Make
gotta
that
have some
song.
accountability.
Well, make that
That
music then, Anita.
huh?
Make that music then. They need you. They need you.
I mean, I'm trying, but like I said, we just had a whole conversation about the landscape of music right now, and I don't fit into that.
Well, but you
So it's
gotta
definitely gonna be harder
you just
for me
make
as,
it.
as the type of artist that I am to get into
Just make
the
it.
mainstream.
Make it. If you make it, I'm telling you right now that there's a possibility that it could become mainstream.
We'll see. We
All
shall
right.
see. Because these record companies, I'm telling you, the reason why the music is the way it is now is because one, there is a complete lack of artistry, but also for the artists
No
who
doubt.
do enjoy artistry, they end up having to give that up because these record companies and these executives, they are curating the sound.
That's right.
They are curating. They are curating what we get exposed to and what we get to listen to because it fits a certain narrative that they want to be fit.
And Raven, you do understand this. If you do make music and you become successful, there is a formula. And the formula is when you perform, you got to take your clothes off and hunch the ground, hunch the chair, hunch the table. You know what I'm saying? But you got to take
I'm not gonna do all that. I don't do that. I don't do that just off the regular. So I'm not gonna do that on the stage with a million people watching. I'm just not gonna do that. I give me a mic, give me some good lighting, give me, some top tier, mics and sound systems, and I'll give you a show. But if you want me to be up there shaking my ass and taking my clothes off and doing all the extra stuff, I'm just not gonna do that.
Well, then you ain't gonna make it. That's what they got. That's what you
I
gotta do.
you.
That's the rule. I watched the BET Awards, and I don't think nobody performed fully clothed. None of the females, or they might have started fully clothed, but by the time it was over, I could see their ass.
But like I said, that is all driven by the industry in which they are in. Like at the end of the day, this is the number one thing in the business world. They'll tell you it every time you sit down and do any kind of business. Sex sells. So if I can be almost as naked as I almost possibly can, I want you to do that. Like if you out there and you not at least half naked when you get out there, you did something wrong. So it depends. Like it's very hard for. I'll tell you this much. I know for a fact the women like Erykah Badu, women like India Arie, women like Jill Scott. With Jill Scott, she done did some stuff in recent years that have kind of upped her sexuality or her being sexualized. Like when she did that whole thing with the microphone at one of her shows, that went viral because of how sexualized that was. But those are the type of women who, when it comes to music influences, I'm influenced by their music because they didn't have to do all that extra stuff. They didn't have to. Wow. They were just great artists. Yeah. But now you're very few and far in between where you find an artist like a Erykah Badu or India Arie or Jill Scott or like you said, an Anita Baker who voice alone, talent alone, artistry alone. That's why they are who they are. Most of these females now who do music, who do R&B, who do even hip hop, because hip hop has just gotten crazy. Like I don't even listen to most female hip hop unless it's like mainstream, and I have to hear it because I'm in the club or I'm doing my job over on the Wiz or something like that. I don't search for that music. It just finds me because it's everywhere. But at the same time, I'm that's not my lane. So it just it makes, like I said, it makes it hard for an artist like me to even be motivated to even create my music, because I know if I try to put it out there and sell it, they're gonna want me to get naked, or they're gonna want me to do something crazy or controversial or whatever. So as somebody who understands that there are women like me who want music, who I don't have to feel like I got to take my clothes off or nothing, like, or talk about how hurt I am or how I hate these niggas and blah blah blah. I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to keep putting that out there.
Right.
How do I reach that audience when, like I said, labels and record execs, that's what they're pushing. They don't care about women like me who don't listen to that stuff. What they care about is the man who's gonna click on the video, or the man who's gonna, search me on Google and then maybe buy a ticket to my show just to come see me be naked.
Well, Raven,
that's what they care about.
I appreciate your call. And again, good luck on the 9th. Congratulations, and have fun with it.
I will do my best. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for the call.
You're welcome.
All right. That was Raven Monday. Yeah, now I missed the whole Jill Scott doing something with a microphone. And hold on. Yeah, I missed that. Can I just say, can I say it how I feel it? Can I? Because I like Jill Scott. But can I say it how I feel it? And it's got nothing to do with her being a bigger woman or anything like that. But don't nobody want to see Jill Scott rubbing on her coochie with no microphone. Don't nobody want to see that. Jill, get your big ass up there, sing and dance, show us that energy and that life, and entertain us that way. Jack says Jill in the microphone was a long time ago. I never heard of it. Like, this is the first I've ever heard of it. And I don't want to see Jill doing nothing like that. Get out there and sing and bounce around with your energy and just be that. Yeah. I don't care if it's the in-shape Jill or the out-of-shape Jill. I don't want to see Jill doing nothing like that. Oh, she gave the impression that she was giving oral. I don't want to see that either. I don't want to see, DeAndre Tate, don't knock until you see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I just want to I want to hear her sing. Phyllis, when it's Jill, I want some live instruments. I want her with a microphone, with a few background singers, and her with her energy, singing and dancing around the stage. That's what I want. You don't have to be all of that other stuff. You don't have to be that. What's disrespectful? Jill is a big girl. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm saying. I want her to get out there. Like, if it was Prince, I would be saying, get your short ass out there and sing and dance. I don't need you. I don't need the back of your pants to be gone so that I can see your behind. Jill's a big girl. So Jill, get your big ass out there and sing and dance. The point of me saying it that way is I don't care about your physical whatever. If she was super skinny, I'd be saying, get your skinny ass out there and sing and dance and give us that energy that you give us. That's right. And it's not a knock on her weight. It's an acknowledgement that she's a big girl. But so what? Get out there and sing and dance. See, now big women getting mad. Don't get mad. You wouldn't have been mad if I said, Prince, get your short ass out there and perform. Nobody would have been mad. Oh, that's so disrespectful talking about his height. He was short. Get your short ass out there and perform. Play that guitar. Is that offensive too? Is that offensive? If I say get your short ass out there, if I told Luther get his big ass out there and sing, is that offensive too? Because that's all I wanted from Luther. Just get your big ass out there and sing. That's all I wanted from Luther. From Jodeci, get your drunk ass out there and sing. That's all I wanted from them. I knew they was drunk. It was always drunk. Get your drunk ass out there and sing. Oh yeah, just do it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to see Jill or none of that. And they do need an Anita. 2022 needs an Anita Baker. 2022 needs an artist, specifically a female artist, to talk about love and to take accountability for when she's wrong. To teach that it's okay to do that. I really believe Anita brought something original to the musical landscape. And the fact that a lot of women loved Anita Baker, I think it made a lot of women be able to listen to that and appreciate love and acknowledge wrong, which was a great thing for relationships. Which was a great thing for relationships. Jodeci, get your dope fiend ass out there and sing. Yes. Yes. Oh, why you hating on dope fiends? Stop it. Stop it. I totally agree with modesty, but it's across the board, regardless of a woman's size. I agree. I agree. I agree. Y'all the ones getting offended. Why do you always use that voice? What voice? What voice? I want Monique to reenact the Jill Scott microphone. I don't need to see none of that kind of stuff. None of it. None. Rick says, hey, just tuning in. Hey, what's up? I like the fact that Anita Baker looked back on all those good times that they once shared. And she must have been blind not to see. I like that. She was acknowledging, and we had some good times. And nobody else in the world can love me like you do. How did I let you go? As a matter of fact, please take me back. I can't go on. I'm not happy in my life without you. I'll do whatever it takes. I just got to get you back. I realize I need you in my life. No one in the world can love me like you. You got the love that I need. And that was coming from a woman. When do you hear women in almost any area of life say something like that openly and honestly to a man? You don't. You just don't. You don't hear that. DeAndre say you just a hater today, and stop hating on Lincoln lip syncing stroking at karaoke. Lincoln did not lip sync or do karaoke stroking. He did not. I was there. He did some other song, which I can't even think of what it was, because he did some stupid little thing with it. It was stupid. It was because he was trying to show me that he could do more than this when he was singing. He did not. Think about stroking. Think about the words. And you tell me that they're going to do that. They're going to have that. The karaoke man going to have that. What time of the day do you like to make love? Have you ever made love on the couch? Have you ever made love while you watch the Late Late Show? Lincoln did that at karaoke. He didn't. He did a totally different song. He thinks he did stroking because he did that little stupid where he was hunching the air. He did not do stroking. And I'm not trying to get him in trouble. He just didn't do stroking. Anita has a catalog. She has more than 2 songs. Well, okay, tell me. I mean, I got like a number of Anita Baker songs because I have, of course, Apple Music. And as I listen, in my head, I can't think of an Anita F that N type song. So, Myosha, tell me in her catalog, where is her anti-male songs? I don't ever recall hearing an anti-male song from Anita Baker. So please tell me the anti-male song by Anita Baker. And I will go listen to it and feel really bad. But I'll listen. I'll listen. What's the fat woman singer name that always show her booty at the Lakers game? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever It Takes reminds me of my husband. And I didn't say she had a F that N song. Whatever It Takes. I'm not familiar with that song. I have to go and listen. Anita Baker. Let me put it in my Apple Music and see if I can find Anita Baker, Whatever It Takes. Let's see. Anita Baker. Whatever It Takes. No results found. Okay, I don't know what song you're talking about. I wasn't familiar with that song. Anita Baker, Whatever It Takes. I looked it up and apparently it doesn't exist. She says it will totally make you cry. If it exists, it's not on Apple Music. Oh no, what? There it is. There it is. It just popped up. Anita Baker, Whatever It Takes. I will listen to it later. I was going to say right now, but y'all know if I play it right now and then boom, I'm done. And that's that. Let Us See Is Fire, but she can't touch Anita Baker's tone. All right. Singing about a buster, a 5'5" dude from a relationship is not anti-male per se. It can be, but not necessarily. If you accept that, there are a couple of artists. Hold on. There are a couple of artists. But I'm just saying, I never heard an Anita Baker song downing men or relationships. I just never heard it. All of her music seems to me like most of her music, I guess I should say, seems to me like it's celebrating love, relationships, and her man. And I like that. I like that. And they need one of those today. They need one of those today. Janice says they just passed the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida. And if I recall, that's the bill where they can't teach like kindergartners and stuff about homosexuality. And people, oh, it's some other stuff in there. But the main thing, at least that was put out there in the media, is them not teaching young people about homosexuality. And I had to go and read up on the contents of the bill. But at least from that perspective, I like that idea. And that's not even being anti-gay. That's just being, little kids don't need to be inundated with homosexuality. I was watching, because the little baby was over, and we were watching something. I want to say it was it Nickelodeon? It was Nickelodeon. And they were talking about, and I'm guessing because it's Pride Month, but they were talking about how they're including more gay characters in their cartoons to be more inclusive. And I'm thinking, this is a Cartoon Network, or at least it was like Nick Jr., and this was during the morning, and the shows were like what's the little shows with the dogs? I don't know why I can't, because I can see them. It's the little dogs, and one of them is a fireman, and one of them is what is the name of that show? What's the name of that show? Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol. She was watching Paw Patrol, and a commercial came on about adding more homosexual and trans characters in their cartoons to be more inclusive for the kids. And I was thinking, I never knew the gender identity of any of those little kids or those little puppies or, any other cartoons. I mean, I always assumed Bugs Bunny was a little, maybe gay, but then you had the little female Bugs Bunny, and Bugs Bunny was down with her. So I was like, huh. And as a little kid, I always thought Bugs Bunny was gay. And then they introduced the little female, and I was like, maybe he ain't. Well, I'm not gay, funny. I always thought Bugs Bunny was funny, a little afflicted. But then they brought in Babs, and Bugs was trying to get on. So I was like, maybe he ain't afflicted. Maybe he just, a little girly. These was my little kid thoughts, because I wasn't gay and homosexual and effeminate. That wasn't the way that my brain worked as a little kid. Gay was afflicted or funny, and effeminate was girly. So I was like, Bugs Bunny is afflicted, and then okay, Bugs Bunny ain't afflicted, he's just a little girly. But there was a character or two here or there that I thought maybe. But it wasn't like, hey, we gonna just, I'm a trans kid. Like, you a what? Why do the kid who watching Paw Patrol have to watch something where somebody's declaring that they're trans and they're what do they do? They're transitioning. It's not necessary. So just put characters in the cartoons and let them do what characters in cartoons do. Teach little kids lessons while they're being entertained. You said you wouldn't mind if a drag queen read to the little baby. I think you would, but that's what you said. Why would I? I don't care if context-wise, depending on the drag queen, you don't even know that it's a drag queen. I remember Maury used to do those shows where you couldn't tell if it was a male or a female. And what do I care if a drag queen dressed in all drag just reads a story to kids? I don't care. Now, is they going to be talking about, oh, I'm a drag queen, by the way? That means I'm a male, but I'm dressed as a female. See, look. Okay, now we got problems. But you just reading to a kid, I ain't got no problems with that. I ain't got no problems with that. If they're going to incorporate those characters, they should tell children what it actually means. They shouldn't. They shouldn't discuss it. Don't discuss it. Why are you discussing it? Why are you including those characters? I don't know, because all of these newfangled cartoons, I don't know a whole lot about them. But I don't know if any of the little puppies on Paw Patrol are gay. I don't know if they're straight. I don't know if they're trans. I don't know any of that stuff. And I don't need to know. And I don't need the little baby thinking about it. She know all their names. I don't know none of their names. But, and the main one that I remember is the little police officer dog. I know, Janice, you said if. I don't want the little firefighter dog to be like, let's go fight fires. Come on, husband. What? Oh, yes, I'm gay. And this is my gay husband. And we fight fires together. What? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that at all? What? Why do a 4-year-old have to know that the little puppy is a gay puppy with a gay puppy husband and they fight fires together? Because gay people can do anything that straight people can do. Why do a 4-year-old need to hear that? Or a 6-year-old? Hi, I'm a little nurse puppy. And I used to be a boy puppy, but now I'm a girl puppy because I transitioned. And so I'm a trans puppy now. And I take care of sick people because trans people can take care of sick people just like everybody else. What? Why are we? What's going on? What are we doing here? Stop. It's a bunch of puppies that go out on little runs and do stuff, put out fires. Why are you adding any of that stuff to it? So yeah, when I was watching it, I was like, all right, now I really, when she watching this stuff, I got to watch it real careful to see what are they on here trying to tell her. Like, why am I even seeing this commercial? Is that the voice they're gonna have? Yes, they have those little, they have those voice actors who do it. And those little voice actors, yeah. Yeah. And I could, trust me, the little baby would be like, Papa. Like, what, little baby? Because I always answer her like she's annoying me. I don't know why. She likes it, so I do. Papa. What, little baby? Why? What is a trans puppy? And I'd be like, what is a what? What is a trans puppy? A trans puppy? Well, baby, I don't know what you mean. I was watching Paw Patrol and the puppy said that she was a trans puppy. She used to be a boy puppy, but now she a girl puppy, Papa. What does that mean? And I'd be like, what the fuck? Why? No more Paw Patrol. No more Paw Patrol. No more. I don't understand. Then I got to explain, and I don't know that it's my role to explain what trans is. So then I would have to call her mama and be like, hey, you got to explain to this little baby what it means to be trans. What? Oh. From Sesame Street is no longer Gona? Do you mean Grover? I'm not sure, so I'm asking. From Sesame Street is no longer identified as male. Did Bert and Ernie finally come out the closet? I haven't watched Sesame Street in years. Has Bert and Ernie, because now is the atmosphere where they could. Because realistically, as adults, we all know. We all know. But have they finally come out of the closet? Are they allowed to be a loving couple now? Bert and Ernie are puppets. They're gay puppets. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not judging them. I'm not judging them. Bert and Ernie are not gay, and I hate when people say they are. They're clearly gay. They're clearly gay. There's no argument to be made that they're not gay. The only argument to be made that they're not gay is that we've never actually seen them have sex. That's the only argument to be made. Well, we never seen them have sex. Now, that's where you say, well, but that's because they're puppets. Why can't Bert and Ernie just be homies? Why they gotta be gay? Okay. They just homies. They just homies. They two grown men. Relatively, like they not poor or nothing. Living together for how many years? They never had no girlfriend. They never showed no interest towards the opposite sex. They always said, come on. They not in college. They not in college. They grown men out in the world. Been living together for how long? I'm a grown man right now. If Mrs. Livingston leaves me, tell me get out. And I got to get out. I might, if I had to, go stay with a friend for a minute until I found a place. But we're not going to be just living together from now until the end of time. They're characters on the kids' show. Why would they be hitting on the opposite sex? You know how many issues they explore on those shows? You don't think that they explore relationships? They explore relationships. P is for pretty. Bert thinks she's pretty. No, they've never done that. You know why? You know why? Bert don't look at we females like that. Bert looks at Ernie like that. Why y'all, like, I just asked, had they come out the closet yet? It might not be time yet. But my question to y'all, all of y'all deniers, all of y'all Bert and Ernie deniers, my question is this. When they finally come out the closet, then what y'all gonna say? When they finally come out the closet, then what y'all gonna say? As long as they don't do it like Black Lightning. As long as they don't do it like Black Lightning, we all good. Yeah, remember how Black Lightning had the daughter, the way they introduced the daughter, who was gay, was her head coming up from between some lady's legs and her wiping off her mouth. That was horrible. So as long as when they come out the closet, it ain't like that, then it'll be okay. Emmanuel, you can't have it both ways. You can't condemn the acknowledgement of adult relationships when it's gay people on kids shows, but then criticize when kids shows don't explicitly show adult relationships for straight characters. I'm not. I like the fact that they don't explicitly show those relationships. So you don't know whether they're gay or not. But seeing as how they doing all of this stuff, it was just a question, have they come out the closet yet? Because when you grow up, you can look at that stuff and you can be like, yeah, I didn't see that when I was a little kid, but I see it now. And you shouldn't see it as a little kid. And they shouldn't put it in your face as a little kid. I just know that one day they're gonna. Bert gonna be sitting there minding his own business on his computer, and then out of nowhere, Ernie's head gonna pop up. He gonna be looking. Oh, hi, what are you doing down there? You know, and nobody really wants to see that. I don't want them to introduce it that way. What you be watching? Come on, y'all. That is how they introduced the character on Black Lightning. I'm not making that up. I didn't come up with it. None of that kind of stuff. That's how they introduced a gay character on Black Lightning, when they didn't have to tell us she was gay, because the way that she was introduced into the show was her head came up from between a girl's legs in the bed. And she was licking her lips and all of that kind of stuff. That was a horrible Ernie. I don't even remember how Bert and Ernie sound. I really don't. I just don't want them to introduce it that way. If you got to introduce it, Janice, if you got to introduce it, at least be tactful. They did, E-Man. I remember that. Yes, they did. I'm not making this up about Black Lightning. I'm not making this up at all. That's how they introduced her. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. And I'm not making it up. None of that kind of stuff. If you want to go back and watch Black Lightning, you'll see. And you'll be like, what? I would have thought that the GBLT community would have been really upset. All right, y'all. I got to get ready to get out of here. Oh, somebody said the creator said that they're not gay. That was then. He had to say that. Yeah, the creator confirmed that Bert and Ernie are not gay. He had to say. When did he say that? Like in the 90s or something? They wasn't doing all of this stuff now that they doing now, then. I've got to get my expense reports together. Bert come looking around. But no, nobody needs that. All right. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I want y'all to have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. I do plan on being here Monday with Wyatt, the King, and I. I didn't get a chance to watch his show yesterday about the woman with the bringing food to just one kid, but hopefully it was good. Dee says her birthday. I hope you're a woman. I don't want to say her and you're a him. Dee says it's her birthday Sunday, so happy birthday! Happy birthday! The cost of living in New York City is ridiculous. Bert and Ernie are frugal. Yeah. They share a lot of stuff, I'm sure. Every parent had better be having age-appropriate conversations with your children when they ask about sex. The world is full of deviations and perversions. All right, y'all. Well, my time is up. Gotta get ready to get out of here. I hope something amazing happens in your life today. And I hope you have an amazing weekend. Enjoy the 4th of July if you celebrate it. If you don't enjoy the 4th of July anyway, it's still a day. You still can get out and just have a good time on just any day. So have an amazing Monday if you don't celebrate the 4th of July. All right? Until next time, it's been the Afternoon Experiment. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm out, y'all. Peace.